Everybody, welcome to Clara's News Channel. So glad you decided to stop by and see what I am putting up for debate today. But before we do that, I just want to ask you, invite you to subscribe to my channel so you can be a part of this tribe. And I really, really would appreciate that. And also give me a thumbs up for the algorithm and hit your notification bell so you'll know when I upload. All right then. Uh, let's see what we're going. I think I found a really, really good article today. An article, a topic I'm putting up for debate, and it's in the wheelhouse of Roe versus Wade. We recently had the second anniversary of the Supreme Court striking down Roe versus Wade, and we're really starting to see the consequences of that in real time, in real lives of real people. It is so, that is, I'm just going to say, that is my number one reason why I would never vote for a Republican. It's body autonomy. Am I past the age of someone who would want to have a child? No. But I have a child. I have a daughter. And if my daughter was put in the same situation as the story or the people in the article we're going to discuss was, that's hell. That's hell. Would I want my daughter to be walking around with a dead body inside of her and she has to wait until she develops sepsis to get that dead body out of her? Where are we living here? And when do I not have control of my body? When does she not have control of her body? That's my number one issue why I would never vote for a Republican, ever, unless they change on their stance on abortion. Because since Roe versus Wade has been overturned, I really don't feel women are a full citizen of this country. Because we do not have full control over our bodies. How can you be a full citizen and you don't have control over your body? Of your body. And men do. I bet you every time a man got a woman pregnant and a woman was forced to keep that baby, but the man was forced to get a vasectomy so he wouldn't have any more children or impregnate any more women. I bet you things would change then. It would. It infuriates me that people feel that they have some kind of control over your body, your decision to do with what you will with your own body, your God-given body, and that you value the one that's inside of the person more than the person who's outside. Now, a lot of people may be surprised that I am not I am, I think if you are for abortion, you are pro-life. Because I would never get an abortion for myself unless it was my life was in danger. I would never get an abortion. I would never advise anybody to get an abortion. But I, I understand that I don't have the right to tell somebody else what to do with their body. I can only say that for myself, that because that's my personal decision to be able to make. And I should be able to make that. I should be able to make a decision if I want to have a child or not. It's my personal business. And I don't have the right to tell anybody else what to do and to use the guise of religion to do that. Abortion is not mentioned in the Bible. Let's read this story. It said red state abortion ban nearly killed my wife. Now he's speaking out. I'm sorry. Red state abortion ban nearly killed his wife. Now he's speaking out. My wife and I first met online. Neither of us was big fan of online dating, but this was at the beginning of COVID, and then we were quickly went into dating in real life. I had never really thought about having kids. I had been on a touring musician for a long time, and my life was wrapped up in traveling all over the world. That wasn't something that I thought about for myself. But the woman who is now my wife brought it up on the first date, and after I met her and she raised the idea of it, I just kind of thought, I do want kids. It was strange for me, but I realized that I really liked this person and I could see having kids with them. I'm 43 now and she's 37, a medical doctor, and we've been married almost 2 years. Getting pregnant with our first daughter happened pretty quickly. We didn't do anything to prevent it, and now our baby girl is 6 months old. It was terrifying at first to have a baby, but also wonderful. As soon as my daughter was home from the hospital, the whole different girl's dad mode kicked into me, and I didn't know I had. I was surprised by how determined I was to make sure that I protected her. I love being a dad. And then my wife and I totally had a total surprise when she got pregnant again a few months later. We didn't know that her body was ready to get pregnant again, but my wife had told me she wanted 2 or 3 kids. So we just started with all the prenatal vitamins and iron so it would be a successful pregnancy. The first sign of trouble came and started at 13 weeks. She told me in passing that something just didn't feel right. Then 2 days later, on Thursday afternoon, out of nowhere, she started to have sharp abdominal pains and cramping, and she started to bleed. During her first pregnancy, she had had some spotting, which the OBGYN told us was normal, but this was nothing like that. Her condition was so alarming that after 20 or 30 minutes, we decided to head urgently to a medical center that was close by. We thought it would be less chaotic than the hospital ER because hospital ERs are horrible. You sit there all day. I don't know why they even call it an emergency because I've been there too many times to know they don't act like it's an emergency when you get there. When we arrived, they took us right in and performed a sonogram on my wife. And that's when we got the devastating news that my wife was having a miscarriage. The doctor confirmed that the baby no longer had a heartbeat and then determined that its heart had stopped beating a week prior because it had stopped growing. So she had a dead baby inside of her. The doctors, and they knew she had a dead baby inside of her. Keep that in mind. The doctors we saw that day explained that we had two options at that point. The first was to do a D&C, a medical procedure which would remove the remains of the baby and the tissue inside the uterus, since my wife had had what was called an incomplete miscarriage. The body had terminated the pregnancy. Her body had terminated the pregnancy without naturally expelling all of the fetus remains. However, they couldn't perform a D&C at that facility. The second option was that we could handle this at home with a prescription for Pitocin, misoprostol. Misoprostol. I don't know how to pronounce that. You may let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, but it's Misoprostol, a drug used commonly for miscarriage care and for abortions. It's the abortion pill. It seems just insane and confusing that we would be sent home. I mean, how long how long is it acceptable for a woman to walk around knowing that she has her dead baby inside of her? That should not be okay. This is what we're living with here. This is what has happened is happening to people after Roe versus Wade. But we are trusting them to walk us through the devastating situation, and the path they led us down was to go home with the prescription, which we couldn't feel until the next morning. So can you imagine how horrific it was for this woman to deal with everything she had to deal with? She had to deal with the loss of this baby that she had so many plans for. She probably had named it already. Already imagining what their family of four would be like. Okay, and then go, you find out that it's no longer a heartbeat, that your body is not going to complete the miscarriage, and these people won't do nothing for you. And the baby is dead inside of you. Your baby is dead inside of you. Can you imagine to be a living woman walking around with a dead body inside of you and nobody will help you? They gave her medicine. And I saw him tell the story, so I'm not going to read all of it, but he said that she cried all night long until he could go the next day and get that prescription. And he said that this medicine, the abortion pill, is not even a pill you take orally. I did not know that. It's a pill you take vaginally, and you have to do it 3 times. And he said they did that. And she just bled. profusely. They called the clinic again and was telling them, asking them, begging them for help. And they asked him what color the blood was. The blood is supposed to be brown. Her blood was, her blood was red. She was bleeding out. So they went back. They did nothing for her. The doctor made a horrible comment saying that she wants this woman, let this woman know that we're not going to give her an abortion. And he knew that that baby was dead inside of her. No sympathy, no compassion, no empathy. She had to walk around with the dead baby. They sent her back with another prescription. They followed through with that. Nothing. The woman kept bleeding. I think it was over a 6-day period. She finally passed out. He got her dressed, got his wife, and he finally took her to the hospital. They said, "Thank God you came," because they had to take her into the to operation room because sepsis had set up. They'll do it now. We'll do it now because sepsis, possible sepsis, is set up. You know what sepsis is? It's so many people die of sepsis. It's an infection that goes all over your body. When all of this could have been taken care of prior to Roe versus Wade being overturned, this would just been a little caveat to this whole thing. She would have got it taken care of when she first went in. They would have did a DNC. She would have went home and recuperated for a few days, and she would have been right back where she needed to be and would have been able to continue to try to have children later on. But no, they let this woman walk around with a dead baby inside of her until infections set up, and then they, oh, okay, we'll do something now. Your life is in danger. That's what they mean when they mean it, when the life of the mother. That means that the life of the mother, the woman, is just about dead. It's another woman in Texas where they did the same thing. And she uh sepsis set up in her, and the infection damaged her uterus to the point where she won't even be able to have children anymore. How is this possible in the greatest country in the world? Why do we have to deal with this as women? This is why I would never, ever vote for a Republican. This is why I'm a staunch Democrat. This is why I say I agree with the Democrats, maybe 75% of the things they do, but I still am going to vote for them consistently because this means a lot to me as a woman, as a mother. I never want to be in a situation where I'm doing, having to go through that with my daughter, just crying out for help because some stodgy old men think that God says that you shouldn't get an abortion. Well, why can't God deal with that? Why can't that be between a woman and God? It could be between woman, her family, and God. Why your nose in it? Why you got to have a say in it? It's just too much. It's too much. And so many people have died because of the Republican policies. Look at COVID. So many people died because of Trump and his misinformation and his bullshit. Inject bleach. Standing up there watching a clown show while people are dying. This is the reason why I'm a staunch Democrat. Not that I don't have some conservative views. It means that the things that are important to me are non-negotiable. And access to women's health care, which includes abortion, is one of them for me. And I hope if any women are listening to this, I hope it's the same for you. We need to get out and vote. Vote blue. Encourage people to vote blue because it is turning into the handmaid's tale. And if you think that the hands of time can't turn back, and women have a lot of fault in this, because that Supreme Court would not be what it is if white women had voted more for the Democrats. And I think that needs to be said out loud because not, black women voted in the high 90s for the Democrats. But white women, the last election, Biden against Trump, it was like 48% of women just voted for Biden. 52% of white women voted for Trump. And you need to own that. Because the two women that I just spoke of are white women. White, middle class, upper middle class women. And also, affirmative action is gone. Who is the biggest recipient? I can't even say it. Recipient of affirmative action is not people who look like me. It's not people, not black women. It's white women. It's white women. You are the biggest recipient of affirmative action. And yet and still you voted 52% for Trump the last election. You need to sit in that and understand that the blood of a lot of people are on your hands. And this time, please think about it before you go and vote for Trump again. We barely survived one term. I don't know if America can survive a second term of Trump and his minions. All right then. I think I got a little heated. If you if you have any commentary about what I said, if you disagree, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl that is gonna be real nice. Especially about something that I'm passionate about. So just know that when you come in my comments being crazy, okay? because I'm not that girl. I'm nice, but I can be not so nice. So understand this particular subject means a lot to me. And I'm not having no MAGA craziness in the comments. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this segment of this video. And if you did, remember that always subscribe. I am heated. I'm heated. This subject gets me heated because I'm really passionate about this. But if you enjoyed my content, please subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're reminded when I upload, and give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't like it, give me a thumbs down. Either way, it works for me. But don't be in my comments crazy. Don't be in my comments crazy. That's all I'm saying. See ya. Bye.